In Hebrews, it tells us that the difference in the offerings was not the type of offering. In the offerings of the Old Testament, there were animal sacrifices, true, but there were also what they called the grain offerings. And thus, God accepted the grain offerings also. The grain offering was not used as a sin offering, but God did accept the grain offerings. We are told in Hebrews the difference between the offerings was that Abel offered by faith. Cain did not offer by faith, just by rote. Some suggest that Abel offered works, tilled the ground, and he offered the works for a sacrifice to God, and God really is not interested or will not accept your works. They're not pleasing to God as far as an atonement for sin. And be that as it may, it doesn't really tell us that, except that God accepted Cain, or accepted Abel's and refused Cain. So the Lord said unto Cain, why are you angry? Why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall not you be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door, and unto thee shall his desire, and thou shalt rule, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So Cain talked with Abel, his brother. Came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and killed him. And the Lord said to Cain, where is Abel, your brother? And he said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. Now, God knew. He's asking questions to draw out and to get the confession from Cain. It isn't that God didn't know where Abel was. It wasn't that God didn't know what Cain had done to Abel. In fact, God reveals that here. He said, now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. And when you till the ground, it will not henceforth yield thee her strength. But a fugitive and a vagabond you shall be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from the face, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond. And it shall come to pass that every one that finds me will kill me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slays Cain, vengeance will be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Mark of Cain, what was it? We don't know. And again, a lot of things are not explained to us. But Cain, it said, went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod and the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife. Where did Cain get his wife? I hear that question often. I'm always curious, though, why a man is interested in where another man got his wife. But where did Cain get his wife? It's an interesting thing. We do not know how old Cain was when he killed his brother Abel. There is evidence that perhaps he was maybe 130 years old. And it doesn't tell us of Adam and Eve and the other children that they had. They have perfect bodies. They have bodies that are going to last for 900 years. The gene pool is very pure. There's no corruption yet of the gene pool. That has taken time through the years. But it was very pure. So intermarriages within families was no problem because of the purity of the gene pool. How many other children did Adam and Eve have that are not listed for us in the Bible? We're interested in two of the sons, Cain and Abel, and then we will become interested in the third son, Seth. But how many did they have in between? How many people were upon the earth when Cain, maybe about 125 or so, killed his brother Abel? How many people were on the earth at that time? Kay and I are in our 80s, low. At the present time, we had 4 children. That's not many. When you consider, Adam and Eve in perfect health and so forth, could have had 100 kids, every year. No problem. Except for Eve. I mean, imagine that could be a problem. But with just the 4 children, we have 19 grandchildren. We have 22 great-grandchildren. 23 is on the way. Just how many great-grandchildren we'll end up with is, we don't know. But surely many, many more than what we have. Probably end up with twice as many as we have. And that's small families, 4 children or 2, 3, very small families. But yet, by the time, if we should live to be 120 years old, at the rate the family is growing, there'll be 1,000 around of Smiths, and so there was plenty of choices for Cain to get a wife. Just remember, all of the children are not listed. Only those that are relevant to the story. And thus, only Cain and Abel are listed, and then comes Seth. But otherwise, God doesn't bother to list all of the children, all of the families, and by the time the flood came, it is estimated that there was perhaps as many as 1 billion people upon the earth when the flood came. And it can work out mathematically very easily. So Cain went out, married a wife, had a son, and so in the rest of the chapter, on down to verse 24, we find the children of Cain and their descendants. But we're not interested in Cain's lineage. So it ends right here. It just carries it for a few generations, and then it's not an interest to us because we are interested in only one lineage. And that's the lineage that will lead us to Jesus Christ. So all of these other families, they are passed by. We don't have the records of their lineages. We're not really interested. We are interested especially in that of Seth. So in verse 25, Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and they called his name Seth. For she said, he hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth there was born a son. They called his name Enos, and men began to call upon the name of the Lord. So this is the book